Hi YouTube, I'm Caro. I come from a family of box mixes. After a while you just get tired of it and realize there's more to it than just what's in the box. So today we're going to make Pocky from scratch. We're going to make coffee, mint, and chocolate. Shall we begin? Our ingredients for today: cup of bread flour, pinch of salt, 4 tablespoons butter, teaspoon and a half apricot jam, tablespoon low sodium miso paste, 1/8 cup brown sugar, 1 egg, cup of 10x sugar. We're also going to need peppermints, peppermint extract, espresso, 12 ounces of dark chocolate chips. I use 60% dark. You can use your favorite. Next up, we're separating our egg. Crack it. Dump our egg white in here. Bounce it back and forth. This is going in here. Don't need that anymore. Okay, so now we have our 1/8 cup brown sugar that's getting dumped in. Our teaspoon and a half apricot jam that gets scraped in, and our tablespoon of low sodium miso paste. I like low sodium because then you can control the sodium content. We're going to whisk them in really good. You can find your apricot jam in your grocery store and your low sodium miso paste in the Asian market. Just whisk this up really, really good. If you see apricot chunks, it's okay. After we mix it for a while, it'll start getting paler and paler, and there might be some apricot chunks, but that's fine. Next up, we'll move on to combining our flour mixture and our miso mixture to make our dough. We're going to make a well in our flour mixture and dump in our miso paste mixture. Just get all the good stuff out. Mix it up. The recipe will make about 20 pieces, give or take, depending on how wide you make them. Sometimes you may need a little bit of flour. Sometimes you may need a little bit of water. So if you need a little bit of water, dump it in. In my case, it actually turned out really well, so we don't need any water. This is what the dough will turn out to be. It will form up even better when we put it in the refrigerator with our plastic wrap for 30 minutes. I just grabbed our cold dough out of the refrigerator, so now we're going to roll it out. Need flour, dough ball, flour. We're going to roll it out. We want it to be 5 by 5 eventually. One trick I found that works really well is to use yardsticks. So then it comes out to be a 1/4 inch thick, and we want it to be 5 inches wide. Sometimes it gets a little too sticky, and you might want to add parchment plastic wrap on top. Rulers act as a guide. Now we're going to box him off, make him 5 by 5. Our bench scraper happens to be 5 by 5, or 5 inches rather. so we have it easy. Just take your time. You want it as straight as possible. I'll save these little scraps for later. We can roll this out one more time. Now we're going to cut it out. We're cutting our dough into 1/4-inch strips. One way is to eyeball it, another way is just to use a ruler. Flour in between each cut. After a while you get used to it. If you don't, just use the ruler as a guide. There, done. When you put them on the tray, if you lay them out crooked, they're going to bake crooked. So take your time and lay them out properly. We also need to set our oven for 400 degrees so we can bake them for 5 minutes on each side until they're golden brown. Our sticks are going to look like this when we flip them over, so we're going to flip the rest of them over. Probably want to use a spatula or tongs, they're a little bit hot. If you trust your oven, then you can don't have to turn them, but if you don't trust your oven, just throw them back in for another 5 minutes until they're golden brown. Now that our sticks are out of the oven, they're golden brown on each side. So we're going to move them over to the counter and we'll start our chocolate dip. We're going to melt our chocolate in 15-second increments. I like using tall containers so that it's easy to dip. Our sticks are cooled and now we can start dipping. And our chocolate's melted. When you melt it, scrape in between melting and also in between dipping. So when we dip, your bowl should be your chocolate should be half the size of the dip. So dip and touch the chocolate and it'll stop dripping, and brush the sides off of your stick to get any remaining chocolate off. Here, I'll do another one. Straight down, straight up. Touch the top of the chocolate, wipe off the sides. Don't forget to scrape down the side of your bowl or cup in my case. Dip straight down, straight up. Touch the top of the chocolate. Let it drip. If you want your chocolate to taste pepperminty, add some peppermint extract. Just add it to taste. I already added peppermint extract on these, so we're gonna add some peppermints. I already crushed them up using the food processor. We just want them to be crushed up enough so we can tell what they are still. So before the sticks dry, we're just going to sprinkle on some peppermints. Last topping we have is our coffee drizzle. So what we're going to do is use our remaining egg white and our shot espresso, and we'll dump our espresso into our egg white. We'll need our egg white in a second, but we'll just start with our espresso, and we'll mix it until it combines. Eventually, you'll get this paste, nice paste. If you don't want to use as much, if you don't want yours to smell too espresso-y, add less espresso and add more egg white. Right now we have a really good consistency, so we don't have to add any of our egg white. But if you don't want it, if you don't want as much espresso, then add more egg white. This is some coffee drizzle I made earlier. So what we're going to do is take our parchment paper or plastic wrap and put them on there, like so. Take your fork. And it'll be this consistency. This is the consistency you want when you start mixing your coffee and your 10x sugar. So this is the consistency you want, kind of runny. It'll dry when you put it on there, so let's do this now. So you're going to let it run a bit, and then just drizzle it back and forth. So now we have our last sticks done. We put them with our other ones. Here's our 3 finished Pocky flavors. We got our chocolate, our coffee, and our mint. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe. So remember, it's always better to make it from scratch. Happy cooking. Yum.